I'm Nick, and this is Faith for the Apocalypse. Today is Ash Wednesday, or at least it's Ash Wednesday when I'm recording and posting this video, even if it's later when you're watching it. But I just wanted to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about why I really love Ash Wednesday and how we can kind of approach this Ash Wednesday and this Lenten season amidst all of the things that are happening in our world. Now, Ash Wednesday has always been one of my favorite days in the church. I absolutely love Ash Wednesdays, and not everyone does, which I can understand, right? It's one of the very few kind of sad holidays we have in the Christian calendar. Easter and Pentecost and Christmas and all these days that bring a lot of joy. We don't have as many days where we stop and sit with some of those not so great feelings. And Ash Wednesday is one of those days. Ash Wednesday is the very first day of the Lenten season. Lent is 40 days, not counting Sundays, leading into Easter. It's 40 days because we are commemorating or honoring the 40 days that Jesus wandered and was tempted in the desert before he began his ministry here on earth. During the Lenten season, your church experiences are going to be a lot more Jesus oriented than they might be at other points in the year. That's because a lot of our lectionaries really heavily feature gospel stories about Jesus's ministry during the Lenten season. We're telling the story as we are watching Jesus's ministry headed towards his death and eventual resurrection on that Easter Sunday. So Ash Wednesday is the day we begin all of this, and we begin this preparation for the joy of redemption that is coming by commemorating our own fragile mortality and reflecting on death. The tradition of Ash Wednesday is to put ashes on the heads of individuals as they come to the altar, and they are reminded, from ash you came, and to ash you will return. We all live in these very limited bodies that someday will no longer exist. But I think this reminder of Ash Wednesday is about something bigger than just our individual bodies that will eventually stop and break down. I think Ash Wednesday is about the role that death plays in life and rebirth. Because it's not just us that is going to return to ash, it's everything around us, too. Ash Wednesday is a reminder that our structures and systems are also limited and fallible and something that will end. We can feel lost in the moment of apocalypse and transformation. We can have fear for what this experience of death will bring, but we also know on Ash Wednesday that these ashes on our head are made from the palms of last Palm Sunday. This process of death is a part of the life and resurrection and the joy that is yet to come. Each Ash Wednesday, we see where we are. We have opportunities to stop and to reflect, and we have time as we prepare to move towards new life, new birth, and new celebrations. That's why the Lenten season often involves sacrifice, repentance, and fasting. It's our opportunity to let those things that are neither right nor righteous in our lives to die so that we may once again be reborn and become closer to our God and take one step towards living out our faith more perfectly. During Lent, folks will often give up food items. And this is a historical tradition that I find absolutely fascinating. It goes all the way back to Middle Ages. And while the fasting in Lent can serve a lot of purposes, it also is one of those things that is a tradition that gives us faith that also comes from the rhythm of life around us. Fasting has been a tradition in Christianity since the very beginning. The orientation of Fasting during Lent leading up to Easter is also very likely tied to the reality of food stores during this season in Europe as Christianity spread to the West. We fast because at one time, this is the time of year where it's hard to get luxury goods. And this year, you might be fasting in that traditional way again. Like medieval Christians, you might be going without eggs because there aren't any in the store. But also, with going without these luxuries also gives us an opportunity to better get in touch with our neighbor, ourselves, and our God. We can fast from the things that distract us, from the vices that pull us away from being the people who we want to be. We can fast from food and allow the experience of hunger to transform our understanding of our neighbors who might be hungry. We can do both of those things while also reflecting on our dependence on God through our experience of that desire that we're not fulfilling. Fasting, giving up things for Lent, can do a lot of things. It can also feel like a very big burden to not be able to do these things we enjoy, to have to fit into these boxes that come from our traditions. And if that's how you're feeling, I want to affirm that that is perfectly okay. And you don't have to give up coffee for Lent if you don't want to. But I do invite all of us to do a little bit of reflecting this season about what we might really want to give up or what we might want to take on this year for Lent that can help us better find our God, better serve our neighbor, and better be in touch with ourselves amidst all of the change and uncertainty that is around us. Maybe it's taking up a spiritual practice of prayerfully calling your representatives every day. Maybe it's foregoing a meal and sending the funds that would support that meal to an organization that is seeking to help individuals who are suffering through unemployment. Maybe it's by changing your consumption habits and trying to make more ethical choices. Maybe it's stepping out on a limb and attending a meeting or a gathering with neighbors who you've never met as we try to work together to create change. I love Ash Wednesday because Ash Wednesday is an invitation for reorientation. And we are in a moment where we need to reorient. The world as it was is not the world as it's going to be. And we have an opportunity this Lenten season to let go of a faith that maybe wasn't responding to our lives, to let go of a faith that doesn't talk about politics and instead to engage our political life along with our spiritual and religious development. Here at this channel, we are going to do that by engaging in a study throughout the Lenten season called Gospel Against Empire, where we will closely look at Mark, the oldest gospel in our Bible, as we explore the political origins of the story. We will better understand the context that this gospel came from and what Jesus's words say about political authority when you're living underneath an empire. We do so we can better hear where God is calling us as we see our own empires begin to crumble. I hope you'll join us. Check out the link below to sign up for daily or weekly Devo emails. There'll be another video here on Sunday as we begin to explore Gospel Against Empire.